My name is Zach, and today's class is all about a brand new, exciting product that we are calling CAD Cut Metallic. And if you saw the description on our class today, we are, marketing this product as a one-step foil. It's currently available in silver and gold. We're going to show you both colors today. We'll do a few applications. We're going to head over to the computer shortly after we do our first application, show you how to cut, weed, and apply the product and answer any questions that you might have about it. So we thank you for joining us here, whether it's afternoon or morning for you, depending on where you're from. Welcome. Again, I'm Zach, and let's get started with an application. Taylor, can we get a shot over the heat press that we can apply? All right, great, thank you. So we're working on our Hotronix Fusion heat press. We'll just swing it away. I have our first garment here that we're going to decorate with CAD Cut Metallic in gold. And this garment is very soft and very stretchy, as you can see. The metallic product is a little bit different than most of the metallic products that you may see out on the market. Typically, when we see a metallic product, you're thinking that it is thick, that it doesn't stretch. This product actually is thin and stretches pretty much on any type fabric. So we're going to do a quick preheat. Our application instructions, which we will review a couple times in today's class. We need to press for about 8 to 10 seconds at 285 degrees, and CAD Cut Metallic is a cold peel product. So we're laying down the gold. As you can see there, you have a nice mirror, very metallic finish. Looks like a foil finish. It actually looks even better than that once it's applied. So we're going to position it here in the middle of our shirt. Grab our cover sheet. Cover it up, and 285 for 10 seconds at about a medium pressure. So on your Fusion or your autoclam heat press, you're talking somewhere between a 4 or a 6. I'm applying today at a 4 on this particular garment. Swing that away, remove the cover sheet. As I mentioned a little bit earlier, this is a cold peel product. So I am going to take this over to the table where we can check out Stahls.com website where you can find the product and tell you a little bit more about it. Thanks for joining me here at the table. So the CAD Cut Metallic product is available in 20-inch wide rolls, and you can get 5, 10, 25 yards of that. You can also order just a yard if you would like to, and I'm going to ask Taylor to switch me over to the computer so where I can show you where to find it at Stahls.com. If you are taking a look at the top of the page, you are going to be looking at the CAD Cut material, vinyl, and twill. Under CAD Cut heat transfer vinyl, you're going to move all the way down here to metallic. So between hologram and reflective 2, click on metallic, which it's already on that page, so we'll just reload it here. And again, you see the description on the website. This is a one-step application that gives the look of a foil. So for those of you who are familiar with the way that our adhesive in foil typically works, you are cutting, weeding, and applying the adhesive, applying the foil on top of it, and then cold peeling and peeling away the rest of the foil. So it's a two-step application. CAD Cut Metallic eliminates that extra step, and you still get a foil finish with just a one-step application. So as I said, right now this product is available in gold and silver, and we'll just click the gold here, get you an idea on the pricing. So 20-inch wide rolls, you can get 1 yard for 11 bucks, 5 yards for $45, so on and so forth as you go up there. And we also have our nice little yardage calculator here. If you tell us how many designs you need and what size your design is, we'll calculate how much yardage you will need. So you can just add that to your cart there. I am going to stay here on the computer because we're going to go ahead and load up to cut and weed a design using the Roland GS24. And we're going to do that using CADWorks Live. CADWorksLive.com is a cloud-based design software. It functions much like a CorelDRAW or an Adobe Illustrator, and we have all kinds of templates loaded in there, and it is free to use if you are a Stahls customer. So go to CADWorksLive.com, get registered, take advantage of all of the templates that are available there to you. And then we combine CADWorks with a software called Vector Cut that will actually send directly to your vinyl cutter, whether that's a Graphtec, a Roland, or some other brand of vinyl cutter. So let's take a look at the computer at cadworkslive.com. All right, so this is where we log in. We have our own Stahls TV account, which I am already logged into, but you can go to your Design Studio, and you want to launch the Design Studio 2.2 for what we're doing today, where we want to use a template to cut the CAD Cut Metallic. I already have that launched over here, and I'm going to go to File, Open. And the design that we're going to be cutting is this design here. We have saved it with the file name Metallic Silver to where we know what we're actually cutting it on for today's class, but it's a Tiger Pride design, and you'll see there's a lot of, one of the nice things about this design, and you'll see it when we get to the weeding portion, but there's a lot of open areas, not too many closed cavities that we're going to have to weed out of this design. So it's going to be very fashionable when it's applied to the garment, but it's going to be really easy in production and weeding time. So I'm going to highlight the design, just checking my size. I'm at 10 inches wide by almost 8.5 inches high, which is going to fit on the tank top or the shirt that we're applying to. We are going to send this design to Vector Cut. And what Vector Cut is going to do is drive the vinyl cutter for us. So we're sending to Vector Cut, the file downloaded here in Google Chrome. I can click it to open it, and it is going to open up the Vector Cut software. From here, I'm going to highlight the design. Since this is a CAD cut material, I am going to mirror my design as well. So the mirror button's right up there on the top of Vector Cut. All of the tools that you need are really easy to find here. You can get your weed borders, you can weld graphics and simplify them here as well. You can also, this is a really handy tool if you're doing a multicolor design to cut by color. Where this is a single color design, I don't need to do that for today's design, but it's definitely there and available to you. So we're going to send this cut job to the Roland GS24. Here you can see what cutter we're setting to. It says GX24. A driver works the same for us here at the Stahls TV studios. GX24 was the older version of the GS24 cutter, and we're going to hit send. And Taylor's going to take us over to the cutter to watch this cut. So I mirrored the design, and I had already set my origin down on this side of the cutter where it's going to start cutting to attempt to minimize the waste that I would experience. I tried to start it very close to the front edge of the vinyl cutter. As soon as this one design is done, I'm going to feed the material through forward, and I am going to use this groove down here to get a straight cut across the material, which you'll see in just a second. One of the really nice things about this CAD Cut Metallic material is the low application temperature at 285 degrees. It's a perfect fit for technical or performance fabrics that can't withstand a lot of heat. All right, so now it's cutting my weed border. What that is just a rectangle or a box around the design that we sent that's going to make it much easier to weed when we get over to the weeding table. So I'll feed the design through, and I have a blade here to get into this groove so where I can get a straight cut across the material. And that way when it's going back in and I set up for my next cut, it's all set up. I'm not wasting a lot of material on the front end. So we'll head back over to the table here to do some weeding. Actually, before we weed this design, let's go ahead and peel our Panthers volleyball in the gold. So again, we said this was a cold peel product. All right. So you'll notice when I'm weeding and also when I'm pulling this away that this carrier is tacky. So if I accidentally weeded something off, I could get it back down on here. This tacky carrier also allows you to achieve a much finer level of detail than a non-tacky carrier. So our Panthers is finished. All right. Shiny, looks like foil. Again, one step, very simple to do at the heat press, which we'll show you some more applications here in just a second, but let's get to weeding. So I am going to cut off some of the excess of this material, and we will save that and use it again later for another class or another sample that we will be producing. And I already weeded one of those designs a little bit earlier just to have it ready to go. So I'm going to pick up the corner here where my weed border is, and you'll notice typically, at least in my experience, when you're cutting and weeding metallic products or any foil-like products, they don't tend to be the easiest to weed. But you'll notice this CAD Cut Metallic is actually very easy to weed. I would say it's just as easy as your everyday CAD Cut vinyl that you're using, whether that's fashion film or Premium Plus, or not quite as easy as thermofilm, I guess, but very, very, very easy to weed. And you can see that I only have to go back and pick up a few cavities there, which I'll do right now. I actually really like the tack of the carrier here. It's not overly tacky to where it's really sticking to me and kind of making me uncomfortable to where I have to watch where I put my fingers or my arm down. Right, weed away this. Okay, so I see some questions coming in here, and I'm going to do my best to read them. My eyesight is poor today, and our screen is a little far away. So let's see what we can do. First question, will there be more colors? Question from Jean, is that right, Taylor? Mm-hmm. Okay, great. Will there be more colors? So, awesome question, Jean. The short answer is yes. Long answer is we are still making them, so I don't know when they're going to be available yet. But the plan is to expand the color palette for CAD Cut Metallic. Just don't have a date when that's going to happen. Right now it is available in silver and gold. Let's see. I just ordered and forgot about this. Well, Sharon, it's not too late to just place a reorder. We do have the flat rate $5 on any CAD Cut order, so for $5 extra you can get it. Is the hand on this similar to the hand on the foil used with the adhesive? It is similar. It is slightly thicker. The material itself, which I can click back here, I'm just going to go back to Stahls' website because we do publish that information under the user guide at stahls.com. So you have the Order Now tab, and then you also have the user guide that you can check out. And, oh, I'm sorry, it's up here. So this is 63 microns in thickness. So it is similar, but it is slightly thicker than the foil material. All right, so our Tiger Pride design is cut and weeded, and we are ready to move back over to the heat press. Keep the questions coming in if you have them. Happy to answer them, and we'll check on that in just a second. I have two garments that we're going to be applying with two different designs. So I have the single color design of Tiger Pride, which we'll do first, and then we also have a two-color design that we're going to be doing as well. And we can thank Jenna Sackett and Taylor behind the scenes for doing a lot of pre-cutting and design work here to where we can just come on and present. So we appreciate that. I want to say thanks to Taylor and Jenna for preparing today's class. Taylor's laughing in the background and smiling. I know you can't see her or hear her, but she is. All right, so first application for this single color design, we are going to be using a Bella Canvas tank top. This, again, we want flowy, soft, stretchy materials are going to make the most of CAD Cut Metallic because it is a very, very soft metallic product. All right, let's go back to the press. And I am going to thread our garment on here. Using the 16 by 20 platen still for this, we are going to change out platens for our next item. I want to make sure this is as flat as possible. And we're going to give a preheat just for a couple seconds. I'm going to take my pressure up just a notch. This shirt is slightly thinner than the last one, so the preheat helps me gauge where my pressure needs to be as well. All right, grab the transfer. And here we're doing the silver metallic on a gray tank, which I think is going to have a really good finished look. Cover sheet. And 10 seconds. While we're doing that, I'll check to see if any more questions are coming in. Windmill Apparel only dreams of having a fusion. Let's make those dreams come true, Windmill Apparel. All right. So 10 seconds. Again, this is a cold peel, so I am going to remove the shirt and then we'll change our platen out and load the next shirt. Set this to the side to cool. And let's change our platen. This swing doesn't want to stay away today. There we go. So I'm changing out the 16 by 20 platen that does come standard on the Fusion with an 11 by 15. Now the nice thing about this 11 by 15 platen is we can load it portrait or we can load it landscape. It will go both ways. For the next garment that we're going to do, I think landscape is going to make the most sense because we are dealing with a hoodie that has a pocket on it. So our application area is between this seam and the pocket seam. So I want to do that landscape. You can see that I can get both seams just off of the press that way. So I'm going to load this on, thread it, make sure I'm straight. And the way that I do that is I just pick the arm seams and see if there's about the same amount of space there. We always get asked that question, how do you make sure your graphics are straight? Well, if you don't have a laser alignment system, which definitely helps, the best way to do it is just make sure your garment's on straight and do the best you can do with lining it up by eye. All right. So what happened while I'm preheating here is my pressure jumped up from a 5 to an 8. And the reason that is this garment is simply thicker than the last garment that we had on. And also we have to take into consideration our platen size. So our 5 or 6 pressure was being applied before to a 16 by 20 size. So that pressure was evenly distributed across that 16 by 20. Now that we're 11 by 15, I actually need to lower my pressure down a little bit to where I'm more at like a, let's say a 3 or a 4 to distribute the pressure more evenly across the smaller square inches that we have in the 11 by 15. All right. So the design that we're going to apply, we already have it put together here. Looks like that. So I am going to apply, oops. I'm going to separate my designs first. Now you see that this Bobcats is blue, so we're doing a mixed media here, and this is the electric blue from Fashion Film. So I'm going to lay that down first because I know I can give that a tack and then apply this on top of it. And I'm just doing this way to make sure it's going to line up and fit. All right, so looks straight to me. One way to find out when you take the garment off, right? All right, so I'm going to give this a quick tack. About 3 to 5 seconds on that. Should be able to peel that off hot. And then what I can do is put my cold peel that wouldn't have been able to be tacked for production purposes around that design. Now, one of the really nice things about the way this was designed is I have a built-in cover sheet with my Mylar carrier that's there. Although we're going to cover the whole thing anyway, if this was outside of that carrier, the cover sheet is imperative as part of this process. All right, we're going to give this one the full 10-second application for soft metallic. Then we'll peel it off and go over to our table to reveal our final designs and answer some more questions. All right, cover sheet off, take it off the press and head over to the table. Okay. Gonna lay this down to cool. I have a nice hot weeding mess on our table here today. Any other questions come through? All right, love the 11 by 15. I use that size a lot. Yeah, we use it here a lot as well. It seems like a perfect fit for if you're decorating a lot of hoodies or even just smaller women's garments. It makes it a heck of a lot easier to load them on typically. All right, so I'm gonna take our peel this silver now that it's cold. That over there. All right, so this is our silver applied. All right, and we'll give it just to show you that it does stretch. All right. And to expedite the process of taking the heat out of this application, we're just going to lay it face down on the table and let the table absorb some of that heat to where we can get a faster cold peel, and we don't have to let it sit around the shop or the house or wherever we're doing our applications to cool down before we peel it. Question came in, where is the sweatshirt from? Let me check out the label here. This is a Bella Canvas sweatshirt. All right, so that's definitely on the cool side. All right, so peel that off. All right, so you have your soft metallic around fashion film electric blue, which actually looks really nice. Really good job on the design. So we'll stay open here for just a few seconds. If you have questions, please feel free to chat those in. I do want to tell you about one upcoming event that we have, and that is our workshop Wednesday in October. It is called Heat Transfer Vinyl 201. So it is kind of next step up from the Heat Transfer Vinyl basic class that we gave, Heat Transfer Vinyl 101. This class is happening Wednesday, October 10th from 2 p.m. until 5 p.m. And you can see the locations there on the screen. And we have added a location to these 5. So you can see us in Arizona, California, Florida, Michigan, Texas, and you can also see that class or attend that class right here in the Stahls TV studios in southwestern Pennsylvania. So if you're close to the area, we would love to have you here for that class. Heat Transfer Vinyl 201. It's going to go in depth into Stahls materials, what to use when. You'll get hands-on with vinyl cutters, and you'll also be in person able to ask questions to all of the Stahls educators around the country. So doesn't look like any more questions are coming in. We do appreciate you attending today's live class. Again, this was CAD Cut Metallic, now available at Stahls.com. It is a single step replacement for foil, available in silver and gold. We'll see you soon.